Vian Dakheel. Vian Dakheel la conosciamo tutti, parlamentare iracheno.
We know her very well. It's an Iraqi MP from the Kurdish Alliance. We've seen her on TV denouncing strongly the situation of the Yazidi people and of the other minorities. And we heard it during the opening ceremony. Now the floor is to Vian Dakheel.
Shukran jazilan.
Thank you very much. Today, I'm not gonna give a political speech. Many of you heard my voice, but now I would like to address you as a human being, simply as a human being, not as a politician. I don't have a written speech. I just wanted to speak to you from my heart, to your hearts, telling you, while I'm seated here, that I'm receiving calls non-stop from people who have been kidnapped, who ask me to help them for their freedom. And I don't know what to do. 79 families made of 6-7 people have been kidnapped and are held hostage in a village close to Mosul, and they're asking you for help because they're under siege. They're held hostage, they're helpless, they have to convert to another faith or they're going to be killed. And they're threatened also to sell their wives and women in souks. So I didn't really want to give a political speech. I wanted to tell you what it is about. Before coming here, I met 35 children coming in the age between 4 and 6, and they're orphans. They lost all their families. Nobody of their families survived. They were under shock. They could not understand what was going on around them. The women were raped and sold, the houses were destroyed, and we were wondering why? Why? We're human beings, we're living here in peace. What is happening? The women, the Yazidi women, were kidnapped. We're talking about more than 5,000 women, young women in the age between 13 and 50, sometimes even 60 years old. They are segregated. The virgins are kept apart, and the elderly women are also kept apart, and they're sold with a different tariff. The virgins in Mosul is sold for $150. 300 women have been sold in Syria for $300 each. Our honor has been lost. We have been dishonored. It's a tragedy. When some of these women carried their child in the womb when they were kidnapped, and eventually they've been taken away from their children. And I'm asking you, fathers and mothers in this room, what would happen to you if your children were took away from you and if you were kept segregated? We're talking about 750 from 5 to 10 years old, which are kept apart on their own. We don't know where they are. We don't know what happened with them. We received pictures from the inside of these homes with children who know nothing of life and who are held hostage. Which mother could stand this, could stand seeing his child taken away from his arms, not knowing what has happened to them? Their throats have probably been cut open, their their children, or probably the female children, their daughters have been probably raped. This is the reality. These are the tragedies going on to the Yazidis in Iraq. We spent 10 days fleeing in the mountains with thirst and hunger. I've seen with my own eyes small children barefoot, so with their feet bleeding, because we've been walking and fleeing for 40 hours in the mountains. I've seen children eating grass and leaves because of hunger. I've seen children dying of thirst, mothers abandoning their old children to save other children. I've known a woman who told me, I had 5 children, 2 of them were handicapped. I had to leave them in the mountains to save the other 3. When I was in a plane, which eventually fell, a woman the pilot said that there was too much weight, so the plane couldn't fly because there were too many people. So a woman said to the pilot, take my 2 children, I stay on the mountain, go save them. This is our tragedy. So this is happening today. The Yazidis have abandoned their houses in Jazar. We arrived in Kurdistan, Ruruk, Erbil, and thanks God, there, at least, we found water, something to drink. Kurdistan government helped us as they could, but Kurdistan government cannot do everything. The people of Yahuk helped us, and we're so thankful to them. They didn't make distinctions between Yazidis and the Muslims. They fed us and gave us water. They welcomed us in our homes. But this is not enough. I'm speaking here to you, not as a politician, not as an MP, but as a human being, as of Yazidis' faith. I don't know how many people were here, but maybe some of you, all of you, can just say something to affect, to change things. You're going to say 10 words, another one is going to say 10 words. We're going to come to 100 words, 1,000 words, who maybe can influence decision makers. We need our land back, which have been taken us from unjustly. We still don't understand why. So I'm asking you, help us with food, water, because without this, what can we do? A woman came to me and told me, I had 5 children. 3 daughters have been taken by ISIS and sold in Syria. I have other 2 daughters. What shall I do with them? I didn't know what to tell her. You're all mothers and fathers. Who could stand his daughter to be kidnapped, sold, and eventually raped? That's why I'm asking you just one thing. You can help us. Each of you can help us. We're asking the governments to set free our kidnapped women. We want to go back home, but we want to go back protected. We cannot imagine going back with the people being there. Our neighbors are killing us. So we want protection. We want to be armed. We ask in the strong countries, we talk about democracy, who have the mouth full of words like democracies, women's rights, children's rights. Where are these countries? And where are these rights? We're talking about genocide here in the 21st century. So we need protection. We want our daughters back. We want our land back. We want the help of the government of Kurdistan so that we can turn a page. So I'm asking you to help us as well, and I want you to consider what this is happening, a genocide. Eventually, I can imagine that all of you, with humanity, can lend a hand to me and tell me, I'm with you in this fight. Thank you.
Cosa si può aggiungere?
What can you say? What can you add to these words of Vian? Words which come from the heart and tell us that innocent people are dying. Thank you, Vian, because with your words you describe the horrors of war. Yes, war is an horror. There's no nice war. Peace is nice, yes. All the words the minister beforehand was speaking about Alabsha, I still have in my mind the horrible pictures of those years. This land of Iraq, of Kurdistan, where all these wars have taken place from 1998 till today, till the images described by Vian. War is always terrible and calls for more war and takes the worst out of man. And these words of Vian really describe this horrible acts of man. A Christian wise man says that beauty will save the world. This holds us together, I believe, if we're looking for a future for Iraq. Thank you again, Vian, for your words and for the plea for solidarity, which touches us all.